Terrence! I told you to never come back here! Terrence! I will destroy you! Terrence! Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off of his face. The squirrel looks over but doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence? You better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again.
I miss my wife.
Terrence! After Sprinkles is satisfied that his persistence has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone. Welcome back, everyone.
I'm Ace.
And I'm Spade, and this is The Guest House. Trying to fall in love with Colonel Sanders. Think we're going to fall in love with him?
I already have.
Oh, okay. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today's day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new and secret ingredient you just learned about blank. In some jurisdictions, blank isn't even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, they'll never know.
Wonder what it is.
Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding on a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it.
Here's a simple breakfast I just whip subs. It's meticulous.
You taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question.
So, would you say that we're the perfect matches? How presumptuous. My cuisines and your taste buds, that is.
Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to the cookery? You know, I think we might have a great team. Single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window.
And with the right business partners, I know I can't fail.
Business partner? Can you be talking about you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears.
What are you fucking laughing at? What are you laughing at?
I don't fucking know. Overcome with emotions and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school, after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one.
It's true. I was thrown out last year.
You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you to get home.
Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you.
It's okay. I was just...
But now it turns out you're fine. I finally get you home to speed you up on the saga of Miriam.
Sure, but...
You will not believe what happened to me. After school yesterday, I went on a date.
I think I can believe that.
Since I haven't partnered up with Pop, he asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him, you better harness those wild horses, young man. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together. Getting to know with me. So I said, yeah, sure. I get to do it a little cat. What the f*** are you doing?
I don't know.
Long story short, he took his favorite shush house, but things quickly spiraled out of control.
Did she just say shush house? As if that's a thing people say? What is that even referring to?
Probably a place where you're quiet, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
And now I'm not really sure where we stand.
You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story. However, bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too. Back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him. Bow chicka bow wow.
You what?
Sound like a bird. heard.
What's not supposed to happen?
Nothing happened, but the emotional connection. Wowzers.
Museum tells you to move on from this whole Colonel Sanders obsession and focus on school.
If being obsessed with Colonel Sanders is wrong, you don't want to be right. After a short argument, you both agreed to go your separate ways.
She broke up with Miriam.
When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You tell from a
Bob is your rival?
You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop. He himself might not quite grasp the fact, because you know he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you one outright way. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat.
You can get your swirly dip too.
Why don't you pick on someone your own size?
Because I'm literally the...
Oh.
Because I'm literally the biggest person at the school.
There's that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school. But who would dare pick on such a gentle, beautiful creature?
You've got some nerve, Dingus. Suggest I pick on defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince in pain. Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Ever. Colonel Sanders arrived just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally tunative person, he senses that something has been going on.
Is everyone excited for the final days of schools? Dingus, how's that hand's feelings? I'm sure you'll be back and fighting forms by this afternoon's.
Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke it down winning so hard.
Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentations was quite impressive.
What is he doing complimenting her?
But what about the flavor of my delicate warm?
Very good.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
But what about that flavor of my delicate warm gooey chocolate sauce?
It was clear that you're passionate about your foods is receives.
There's a lot of words to say. It was bland.
Excuse me, Dingus, I am capable enough to speak for myself.
Maybe you can tell me more of your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel.
I'm always interested in discussing the fine arts of fine foods. See you inside, Dingus.
Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take control of the spellbook you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages.
Whoa, that's the book! It looks like bad news.
Is this something I found laying around? It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magical stuff.
A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it were really, really powerful?
I can think of one Sunfire way to find out. To a page covered with Arcanine warnings, cast only in case of extreme emergency. It says around the edges of the paper. I could use this spell here, and it says that it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scribble out Colonel Sanders, it probably helped me focus better on the upcoming final exam.
That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else? Like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? You stupid fool.
Okay, fine. It is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right here in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out.
Hard no.
You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog movement coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly.
He must be hungry. Reach for some old homework to give him a snack. Dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. Wait to see what happens.
Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses in on the window. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched in the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs out the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence! I told you to never come back here! Terrence! I will destroy you! Terrence! Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off of his face. The squirrel looks over but doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence? You better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again.
I miss my wife.
Terrence! After Sprinkles is satisfied that his persistence has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone. I apologize for that outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Dingus, for reminding me to dole out the indispensable bit of wisdom. You see, but before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills all over the class.
I told you to save it for after class.
But I miss you.
We went on one date, Pop, and now you can miss me when I'm right here?
Pop's voice quivers as he pleads his case to Miriam. Every time I blink, you go away. That's a really cute thing to say. Miriam, what happened between you and Pop? I got her in trouble. Now she's mad at me.
I didn't just get in trouble. I got yelled at by Pop's mother, who blames me for getting him banned from every museum we set foot in.
Oh, so that's what you meant by shush house.
Pop, we went on one date. We're over.
And it meant so much to me, I made this for you. Too hurt to go on arguing, Pop leaves this creation behind and runs out of the room. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over on the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam. Still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey Miriam, are you okay?
Okay, I'm so mad I could smash my tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that, in front of everyone?
Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're going to cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way.
You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me?
Of course not. Well, maybe. Sorta. But I'm sure there's a pony out there we can get your name on it, and a ranch big enough for the both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clink or anyone else you want to meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show you a little interest. Anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes off the tears from her cheeks.
I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup.
And I bet that Professor Dog is going to love it. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay, because you had a better idea of how to spend your time before your exam. You decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it, the location of the final challenge, a test of will, a test of courage, and a test of talent. And a chance to beat the pants off Van Van, the supposed man, and his eviler counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of a recipe you've been working on, Dingus's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven, but as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders.
Dingus, what are you doing, Tears? There's still time before the final exams.
Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. Pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you.
Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were cooking something delicious.
You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who is hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires. The decision gets hard to stick with when the oven timer goes off behind you. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing.
My nose can smell the pot's pies from 400 yards.
That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell.
Not just a pot pies, but a chicken pot pies with an all butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else.
Oh no, is it burning?
Haha, no. I can smell that it was made with a heaping help of the TLCs. Tables, ladders, and chairs, my dear. But it's probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out.
The moment of truth.
Wow. Is the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country's cooking. And I could eat this all days.
There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lay down the ground rules. There are no rules, though it is, except to cook with everything you got. You step up for the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll push you over the edge to victory.
We'll never lose again.
Meanwhile, both Van Van and Ashley are prepping widely elaborated dishes per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big, going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing in his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve something on something perfect. His original recipe, fried chicken. The intensity of this room starts at a full 10 out of 10 with a frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken and levitates it through the air.
Egg wars.
Miriam fiercely injects ingredients into an itsy bitsy pot of broth.
Best friend, Baster Blaster.
Van Van flexes pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rocky road. Ashley scoops her pastries off the tray with lightning speed.
A shallow personality spatula.
Even Clank gets in on it.
5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique.
Wait, when did Clank learn how to speak English?
It's the singularity as was foretold.
We must let it happen, or appliance using will take us all. Van Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out of the back door and out of the arena. Frantically prepare your dish. You notice Ashley has her spellbook out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own, and you're desperate now to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity and fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic?
Hard no.
Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm going to do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room.
I believe in you, Dinguses.
Miriam notices too.
And I've always believed in you, Dingus, since we were little kids, because you're my best friend forever.
You turn and notice that Miriam is at your station cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who's cooking?
Tiny food, short cook times. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you.
Oh, that's sweet, but... Miriam tosses in a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles.
It's the secret ingredient.
However, she doesn't know that you lied. The ingredient was made up, and where in the world did she get Eye of Newt from? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, boiling up into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes.
It is I, Steve, the spork monster.
Steve? Wait, what happened to Borko? You're not here to battle, okay.
We spork monsters are many. I think Borko had the day off. Oh, hey, you're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out?
I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve the Spork Monster notices that you got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station.
I see what you're up to. Crisscross some magical items and accidentally summon me, huh?
Yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing in some fresh noodles and a pot of salted water?
I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was just a little spork pup back in the old country.
You feel the Spork Monster winding up to tell you a very long, involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition.
I understand. It's kind of like the time Monster School that I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class when I woke up.
You toss a serious stare at Steve, and he tries to take the hint.
Never mind, I'll tell you later. Good luck.
Having suffered from a huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. Give up and drop out of culinary school. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, my taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for...
Yes, Dingus, you are the chosen one. You will avenge me.
The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue.
Sorry.
My heart is pure, my hands are steady, my taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment, and I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off the ground, energy courses through your body. You know that with this power you can do anything. Except turn back time, which would be super useful because when we were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, dear Dingus. You may have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you have earned his support.
I've been watching you today, and I must say, I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches.
He steps up to your station and stands right beside you.
I'm here for help.
All you've managed to make is mac and cheese, but that but time is almost up, so you're going to need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never really been my thing. Oh.
Following the rules has never really been my things. I follow my hearts. All both of them.
What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on.
And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that suppress their individual's efforts.
Are you suggesting?
If we combine forces, we can form the perfect food unions.
Time's up, students! Time expired. It's the moment everyone has been waiting for. You must now prepare your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students. Pop, clank. From off screen, you hear a pure and innocent giggle that only can come from one student. Hee, I'm flying. It sounds like it's coming from the broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside the closet, you see Pop hanging on a broom hook by the elastics of his underpants. Pop, get down from there right now. Let me guess. Did Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. It looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing how he did not cook anything. I can't feel my legs. May I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks. I must say, it's not the worst prank in UCS AL history. But it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second. Pranks? Pranks? Clank. Where did that pressure cooker roll off to? You wait to hear the signature whir, beep, or some other onomatopoeia, but there's nothing. Somehow he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. Well, we'll have to figure that out later. That leaves only 4 remaining students. Please, collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester. Wow, 3 whole days long. But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now describe your dish.
I've made tender udon noodles and savory soup.
My word, it's so delicate. It's so teeny tiny.
No idea.
I spy a float of its itsy bitsy bowl.
Yes, chef.
Please call me Sprinkles. Chef was my father's name.
Yes, Sprinkles. And some green tea from baby tea leaves that I picked myself.
Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of the pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Sublime. Would anyone else like a taste? Oh, come on. I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it all by myself. And in a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much, it was less than Dimple's worth. A+. Rarely do I taste a dish with much love poured into yours. Miriam is overjoyed and she gives you a huge hug.
Thank you, Dingus, for helping me believe in myself.
Van, you're up. Now describe your dish. I made udi over smooth egg custard and axe horn urchin sea urchin shell topped with caviar. Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines for a second? Different colored types of urchin. Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much of my kind of bread. Doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but can't get his nose close around out of all the spikes. He begins to pull at it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Woof, woof! Please be gentle with my cuisine. Grrr. Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but can't get past the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and pronged. Youch! My tongue! The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. I can't eat this. It keeps poking my tongue. Disqualifies. A sudden turn of events. Who would have thought serving food in a bowl made of needles would be made difficult to eat? Dejected, Van does not go gentle into the night. Disqualify for Gamma? Don't discount sympathy. That's the last time you heard from me. Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles gaspingly laps up a bowl of milk. I know. I'm a dog, and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps me calm my agitating tongue. Next student, Ashley, it's time to step up. Now describe your dish.
I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rose water syrup topped with French meringue connected by a sugar glass. Honey.
That actually doesn't sound too bad.
Indeed, it was delightful. However, I'd ask you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It was very fragile and meant to be a display piece.
Don't eat the food at a cooking school?
Got toast in your ears or something, Dingus? I told you it's a display piece.
Ashley, I must say it's beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school.
Yeah, which is why I cooked it and did an extremely good job cooking it and didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. I wanted to be judged on eating. I go to the College of Eating School for the Hungry. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard. You might disrupt the sugar spiral.
The food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Rage overtakes Ashley, and she finally cannot keep her toothpaste routine up.
You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you.
With that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to fake nice and liked by everyone.
This isn't the last you've heard of me either.
If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cook, step up together. 2 chefs? We began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese.
Has become something else.
He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I'd seen it all in this kitchen, you give me this thing. You completely blow me away. In my 49 dog years of life, I've never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, everyone passes the class. You pass, and you pass, and you get a pass. Everyone gathers around, partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend in this reality into another dimension. You win. Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive that even Van and Ashley are drawn back into its magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could they compare? How could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of the school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking area, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Dog in the house. Ow, ow, ow. You know that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Van and Ashley tell everyone that they committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were the villains. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghosts allowed at graduations. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws.
I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me.
Oh, amusing.
And now that everyone is together.
It's the Spork Monster. He's totally mellowed out.
Everyone, the Spork Monster is no more. From here on out, I prefer that everyone refers me by my new name, Party Monster.
Student tries to finish what he had to say, but everyone is too wrapped up talking to Party Monster. Dejected student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking, and you know she's going to do great. A red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom. It's like the Hollywood movies premiere. Who could commend such an entrance? It's Pop. He's arrived late to the dance, but apparently for a good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef hat. A crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma. So we had it mailed directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh, now I get it. And we get a new wing on the school, not to mention in honor of educating the son, the chancellor of such and such. Miriam, will you be my lady king? What an incredible turn of events. An offer to join the royal family? It's like a dream come true. You'll get to be a princess or maybe a queen. I'm not sure if he even knows, but either way, crowns and gowns, baby.
I'm sorry, Pop, but I'm not interested. Not now, at least. I've got so much to do with my life.
A twist on a twist.
So many more 3-day universities to attend. So many tiny fools to meticulously sculpt. And watch get accidentally blown away by a single breeze.
Okie dokie. The music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electrical hissing. It's Clank, who has arrived late to the dance.
Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth.
Whoa, he's still doing that talking thing.
I am Clank, and I am not from this earth. I am actually from a faraway planet in another dimension.
What? What?
I actually feel like I knew this whole time.
Now I have learned the ways of your kind. I must return. Death to the planet. Destroy the earth.
A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives.
The latest one of all. Howdy's, classmates.
Just like the first day you met him, he has come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to just give them buckets of chicken. This time it's a full meal.
I didn't guess the most famous chicken man's in history of chickens and mans by not reminding peoples to go out and buy my chickens.
Nope, it's not the end. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor.
Dingus, what are you doing sitting alone?
Oh, you know, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance.
I wonders. My shoe tells me what qualities that you would expect to find in such a lucky person.
Top of my head, oh, I don't know. A spicy musk, tidy goatee, degree from the University of Cooking School, Academy for Learning, just to name a few.
It truly is my lucky days. Would you dances with me?
No!
I hate you, Colonel Sanders.
Yes, I would love to. So you glide across the dance floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders. The future stretches out in front of you.
And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'm ready to take all day off, and I'll be so glad to spend it together with you, Dingus.
How sweet. We'll work together and play together. Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks.
Work together? Well, I think this is something I'll just need to do by myself.
Well, who will help you run your restaurants?
I don't believe I need elves. Besides, based on your times at schools here, do you really think running restaurants is the best path forward?
Could it be? You found a love connection, but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef. Can you live with only half of him? Would you be able to endure sharing him with his other love? The life of an entrepreneur? I suppose I can enroll in a pastry school.
Oh, my dear Dingus, I'm sure you'll find your places eventually. And along the ways, you'll have me by your sides.
A few inches later.
The end. Well, everyone, that was I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-looking good dating simulator. Don't forget to like, subscribe,
I'm Ace.
and I'm Spay, and this has been The Guest House. Thank you.
Good night.